Hello everyone. In the last couple of videos, we discussed about the various initial aspects of conditional formatting. In sheet 1, we talked about how do you highlight the errors, how you detect the blanks, and how do you colorize the negative numbers. In sheet 2 as well, we focused more so on duplicates, but this time let me take you one notch above the current level of conditional formatting case studies. That is, let me jump to sheet 3 solution. Now, first, let me give an overview. In this data, I talk about the list of all employees, their salaries, the division that they work for, and the rating that they have been assigned. Now, I want to prepare a report wherein the two input cell exists, and in that input cell, if I mention the division name, let's say CDFD, and I press enter, only those rows which are part of the CDFD divisions and who are getting salary more than $80,000 in a year, those will be highlighted. For example, if I give 0 in the second yellow cell, which means CDFD employees with salary more than 0, that means all of them. So if I type in, let's say RAD, enter, so all the RAD rows gets highlighted. Now this kind of MIS report I would want to generate where I can have not just one or not just two set of criteria, but even more, and the moment the user types in the criteria, the respective rows gets highlighted. Now sounds a bit complex, but it is not. Trust me, if you have covered the logical statements video quite well, you would find this very easy. Only thing is, the first time you might find this a bit tricky, but after 2 or 3 rounds of practice, you will notice this is a very easy technique. How do you prepare this MIS report? Let's go back one step, that is in sheet 3. Same data, no conditional formatting applied, and we will see how do you apply conditional formatting that generates that kind of a report. Now before I go ahead inside the conditional formatting, let me break down the entire thing into 2 different steps. First step being writing the formula. What is a formula that can help you generate that report? So as of now, if I were to locate all the people who are, let's say, belonging to division CDFD and who have salary more than $25,000. How do I do that? Since there are 2 criterias, I would certainly be using AND formula. So condition is CDFD and salary more than $25,000. So condition 1, let me choose the relevant cell which contains the salary. Is that greater than 25,000? Now please notice carefully this B4. If I do not apply F4 function key, it will continue to move down, which will give you erroneous results. So I would want that all these salary should be compared to the benchmark salary. Hence I have locked that particular cell range. So that's question number 1. Question number 2, after putting a comma, says, is the division name, that's C8, for the same set of employee equal to the one given on top? Again, let me press F4 key. Why? So that I ensure the CDFD reference doesn't move down. So if I close the bracket and I press enter, you will notice it is considered as false. And why would that be? Because this employee belongs to HFD, the salary being $38,000. Had this been CDFD, you'll notice the condition says true. So keeping this formula in mind, I will take you to the next couple of steps. So let me delete that particular formula. Before I go to conditional formatting, let me first choose the relevant rows, that is starting from row number 8. Pressing shift control down arrow key to be able to choose the all rows in which employees name are provided. Now let's go to home, and within home let's access conditional formatting, something which we have already discussed in the previous 2 videos. Let me go to new rule, and as soon as I click on new rule, the same set of 6 options comes before me. In the previous videos, we have focused on the second option, which talks about blanks, errors, any particular cell value between, let's say, 0 to 100. We have discussed the duplicate values. Now I'm going to talk about the last option, which is the most powerful of all, that is using a formula to determine which cells to format. Now, whatever formula must be fed in here. And the answer should either be true or false. Now, you might be thinking, formula in here, and what kind of formula that gives me true or false? Think again. If, and, or, is blank, is text, and all such logical formulas gives you answer in true or false? Yes. So, taking that into consideration, let me put an equal to sign. And since I had two conditions to take care of, let me use and formula, bracket open. Now you'll not get any hints the way you used to get in the cells. So you'll have to remember the sequence of logics. So first question, to ask the first question, let me scroll to the top of the data. So let me begin with the division, say. If the cell containing the division, now why did I choose row number 8's division name? Why not 9? Why? Because I had chosen the data from row number 8, not from 7 or 9. So let me be very specific. Let me choose cell number 8. Now wait for a minute. You notice as soon as I choose this particular cell HFD, it gives me C8 in dollars. Which means this entire cell has been locked, fixed. It is not going to move down for comparison. I would want Excel to make it move down so that it can be individually compared to the benchmark division name. So to make it move down, that means the row numbers can change from 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. I will certainly remove the dollar before 8. That's the digit. Now why would I keep the dollar before column C? Why? Because it may so happen there is another column, let's say in a different data, where the old division's names is provided. So I would want that Excel does not jump from column C to any other columns later point in time. So I must ensure $C8. Is that $C8 equal to CDFD? Now, would you keep this dollars here? Yes. Why? Because you would want the benchmark division name should not shift positions for comparisons. So that's question number 1. So be very, very careful with the dollars. Without this particular technique will not work correctly. So putting a comma, because now I'm going to ask the next question. The next question saying the salary. Again, the same logic. I do not want Excel to keep it static. I would want to make it move down. At the same time, not jump to any other column which might contain house rent allowances, last year bonuses, etc. So I will press function key F4 once and once more so that $B8 is retained. Now this is depicting the salary of that employee. Is that greater than the benchmark salary? So this locked cell is already posted, which is what I wanted. Now let me close the bracket. So these are the two questions I had asked enclosed in the AND statement. So you can write any formula which gives answer in true or false. Now if the condition is met, the format that I'm looking to get is, let me get inside the format. Let me get inside the fill color. Let's say blue. Okay. Let me test it after I press OK. So CDFD, yes, I can see that. More than $25,000. All of them. So what if I make this $225,000? You will notice, yes, all the CDFD employees with salary more than $225,000. So very, very effective technique. Why? Because you can include more such questions enclosed in the AND or statement, or possibly if statement, provided the answer is in true or false. And the best part is, just a quick recap from the earlier videos. If you want, you can prepare a drop-down validation list. So I will take clues from the earlier videos. That is, I will simply copy the list of all the division names which I have. I am going to go to another sheet, paste it there. Now I am going to go to data, remove duplicates. Okay. Now these are all techniques which I have already discussed in the previous video. My objective is to get a drop down list in the first yellow cell. So once I have reached to a conclusive list which is non-repetitive, let me name it. Let's say after choosing this list, I'm naming it, let's say div enter. So now this list is named as div. Now if I go back to my statement, my sheet, I go to data validation, something which we've already discussed in detail earlier. Data validation, allow a list. Now the list should be sourced from some given cells. Yes. So to help me recollect what was the name of the list, I can press function key F3. So it says you can recall div. Okay. Okay. Advantage, see for yourself. Wonderful, isn't it? So user doesn't even have to type the division name. All he has to do is give in the division name from this list drop down. So that was a wonderful exercise on formula based conditional formatting. Try more such cases. Just couple of things before I close this video. That is, if you're applying conditional formatting, be very sure about where is your starting point. That is, is it row number 8? Is it row number 7? Why? Because this is going to help you write the formula correctly. And secondly, be very, very aware of the dollar signs. So when you are choosing a particular cell, what does this F4 function key mean? $2. Once again, F4 function key. Once again, F4 key. So keeping this into account, please go ahead and try this exercise. See you in the next video.